Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here, and in today's video I'm going to share with you guys my Gameweek 10 team selection. I still have 0.2 million in the bank and 2 free transfers. I haven't made any transfers yet, so I'll talk through currently where my plans are headed. I've kind of changed as well. Initially my plan was to do Bowen to Mateta and also Diouf, who's on the bench, to Chris Richards, but those plans have now changed and I'll talk through it in today's video. If you guys enjoy it, please do drop a like, please do subscribe as well. And let's start off with currently how my team looks like without transfers made. So I actually quite fancy my team this week because I do have some Newcastle players here. Pope in goal and Voltemade, and they are playing West Ham, who are currently really not performing well at all. So I do fancy Pope for a clean sheet and Voltemade to get attacking returns. Voltemade obviously just coming off scoring a goal against Spurs last night in the Carabao Cup. And as for my defense, I have Timber and Gabriel both playing Burnley. Now, no real issues with them at all. I think the Arsenal defense is just so good right now that Timber and Gabriel are going to be set and forgets for me. The attacking threat is also still very good. I'm hoping that soon the choice of going for Timber over Raya will start to pay off because I do like the attacking threat that I'm getting and his minutes continue to look very good. So for the time being, still happy enough to have him. In terms of Senesi here, he has Man City away. He will likely drop down to the bench once I bring in the Diouf replacement that I'll speak about later on, and that replacement will likely start. I do like Senesi's fixtures from Game Week 12 though, and that's the reason why I'm keeping him. I'm not kind of removing him from the team despite him having Man City away here. He is also on 3 yellow cards, so it is something that I am thinking about as well. But yeah, longer term, I do like the Bournemouth's fixtures. In terms of midfielders, I have Ismail Assar, Saka, Semenyo, and Enzo Fernandez. Ismail Assar coming off 2 goals in the Carabao Cup last night against Liverpool, so let's hope he can replicate their performance against Brentford. Saka has Burnley here, great fixture. Semenyo has Man City away. I actually do fancy him for this fixture. He hasn't returned last week in terms of attacking returns, but the numbers are still there and Bournemouth are still a very good attack. Krupi Jr. is quite interesting, talking about Bournemouth assets, but I think Evan Nielsen will be coming back soon, either in Game Week 11 or Game Week 12. You know, Krupi Jr. could still start, to be honest, but we'll see probably some share of minutes with Krupi Jr. and Evan Nielsen. Now, in terms of Enzo Fernandez, Tottenham away here. Now, I just brought Enzo Fernandez in Game Week 8 on my wild card. He obviously blanks against Sunderland, but my thoughts on Enzo Fernandez is that he's still a good pick. If you guys want to transfer him in, I still don't mind it. Maybe this week Spurs is not technically a good window. You could look to bring him in Game Week 11 instead. But yeah, overall, just think that he's still a good pick. While Cole Palmer is out, he will still be on penalties, and Enzo Fernandez does have great fixtures. And even if he plays deeper, because now there's talk of Liam Delap coming back to the number 9 role, and thereafter João Pedro dropping back to 10, Enzo Fernandez could move further back into the center of midfield, in which case people are thinking that he won't get as good of the chances to score. But I would say that earlier parts of this season he was also playing those kind of positions, and he still managed to arrive in the box at the right time and get those returns. So I honestly am not fussed about Liam Delap coming back at all. I do think like Enzo Fernandez will continue to tick along. Now up front, Voltemade, as I said just now, has West Ham here. Haaland has Bournemouth. Now, I think there is a conversation to be had as to whether we should captain someone else instead of Haaland. I think some people are talking about Gabriel captaincy. I actually am thinking about it as well. I don't mind it. It's just a question of weighing up the points here, because if Gabriel gets a clean sheet, potentially some DEFCON points as well with how good he's been, but you're looking at about 9 to 10 points if the clean sheet comes. As compared to Haaland, there's probably 1 goal here. So I'm kind of weighing up the likelihood of Haaland getting a goal versus Arsenal keeping a clean sheet and Gabriel getting those 9 to 10 points. I think it's rather similar, or in fact, I kind of fancy Gabriel a little bit more. In which case, I'm leaning slightly towards Gabriel for captaincy right now. Let me know in the comments down below who you are captaining for Game Week 10. And lastly is Jarrod Bowen here, who has Newcastle. Now, I'm 100% sure that I will be removing Jarrod Bowen, but who for is now the question. I was quite certain I wanted to bring Mateta in for Bowen, but I do have some second thoughts now after tinkering a little bit over the week, and I want to share those plans with you as well. So let's have a look now at the FPL.team transfer planner. So this is my team on the FPL.team transfer planner, and let me just start off with the set of transfers that I was originally going to do, which I still might end up doing, but this is just one of those variations that I started out with. So it's Bowen to Mateta. Right, this is just a straight swap, both of them at 7.7 million. So Bowen in for Mateta. I mean, lots of things going for Mateta, as I've been saying all week. Crystal Palace's fixtures are really good from now on, and Mateta gets almost half of the XG that Crystal Palace create. So he's here in terms of the first variation, and then if I do go for Mateta, I don't have that much money to look for a replacement for Diouf because I only have 4.6. The initial thought was to go for Richards, who currently is yellow flagged, right? But I do think, based on the comments from Glasner, is that he probably won't miss out against Brentford. So this yellow flag is not really what is putting me off going for this combination, because I genuinely think Richards will start against Brentford in Gameweek 10. And I also do think that he's the best defender from Crystal Palace in terms of DEFCON points. His DEFCON per 90 is set at about 10.9. But what's putting me off is more about, firstly, how attacking Crystal Palace are, and that is actually a good thing. But I think because Munoz is so advanced, and also with how good Crystal Palace are in the attack, I actually think that attacking returns for Munoz over the longer term could be more of an occurrence. So in place of going for Richards, I'm going to put Munoz in here. And as you guys can see, I am 1.1 million short. So the only alternative for me is not to go for Mateta. And I think there is something that I do think about as to whether I can go against Mateta for this Brentford and Brighton fixture. Granted that it's at home, but I would say that Brentford and Brighton are generally not easy teams to play against. So I could bet against Mateta for these 2 weeks. I will have plans I'll show you later on to bring him in time for Wolves, because once Game Week 12 comes around, I think there will be quite good returns for Mateta. So I will bring him in from Game Week 12. It's not as if I'm not going to have Mateta at all. But at least for Game Week 10 and Game Week 11, can I bet against Mateta? And currently, I'm at a place where I think I'm comfortable enough to do that. So in this spot, I have 6.6 million. What I can do is go for two players, and I'm kind of choosing between either of them right now. The first one is Danny Welbeck. Now, Danny Welbeck right now in Game Week 10 has a great fixture. It's Leeds at home. And I would say that overall, the Brighton fixtures are pretty good, right? It's Leeds, Palace, Brentford, Forest, Aston Villa, West Ham. I mean, it's not absolutely stellar, but would I be unhappy to play Welbeck over this set of fixtures? I don't mind it. The only thing that puts me off is that he has not been starting games regularly. There have been instances where he has been fit and available but benched. Now, over the last few game weeks, for sure, he has returned really well. He's actually gotten 5 goals in the last 4 games, and these are against tough opposition as well. So I do think that he's a very decent pick. But my only issue is that with this spot here, there is a strong potential that I keep this player and will have to play him for quite a long period of time. And once the fixture crunch comes, especially once there are midweek games such as Game Week 14, am I confident that Danny Welbeck will be starting? I think there's a chance he could be benched, right? And Jorginho Rutter is perfectly fine to play as a number 9 as well. Brighton do have very good attacking options that they can just swap around. So for the time being, yes, I'm pretty sure Welbeck will be starting the next few, but longer term, I cannot guarantee that he will. And therefore, I'm kind of tending towards Thiago here, who is slightly better for minutes. I mean, much better. He gets starts every single game. Whether or not he plays the full 90 may or may not happen. It does kind of depend on game state as well. But overall, the thing with Thiago is that he does not have as good fixtures. Palace away, Newcastle at home, and Brighton away. So immediately the first 3 are not super easy. Then there's Burnley here in Game Week 13. That is what I would say the banker fixture. And then from Game Week 14, he faces Arsenal. Not ideal. Game Week 15, it's Spurs. But after that, 16 and 17 is good again. So going for this pick here, I have to factor in some form of rotation, which I do have plans for, because my team overall, I think, will look as if the 8 attackers can kind of fill in for each other whenever they have poor fixtures. So as I move along in the transfer tinkering, I will share with you. But say for illustration purposes, the most likely route that I go for is actually Munoz here for Diouf and Thiago as the replacement for Bowen, leaving me 0.4 in the bank. Now, this would also mean no Mateta for Game Week 10 and also no Mateta for Game Week 11. Now, coming to Game Week 11, I think it's important to also discuss the bench boost plan because I do have plans to play the bench boost here and it is possible for me to still do so. The fixtures are still pretty good for the bench. It's Dubravka here having West Ham and Caicedo here has Wolves, Senesi has Aston Villa away and Nottingham Forest for Leeds. So it's really a decent bench that I can still choose to use the chip. The only thing with Thiago here is pretty much he has Newcastle at home, right? So I don't think that's an easy fixture, but overall, still a very bench boostable team. Come to Game Week 12, this is when I look to bring Mateta in, and the plan is actually to do Voltemade, who has Man City here in Game Week 12, to Mateta. Now, one of the things about going for this move, which I'm not particularly loving right now, is that when I look at Newcastle's fixtures, I'll just use Pope here for illustration. If I do sell Voltemade here against Man City, I'm pretty much going to lose him for the next few round of fixtures. Everton, Spurs, Burnley, Sunderland, where I do think that there could still be returns for Voltemade, right? So it's kind of an op course where I kind of have to prioritize, and I think Mateta over this period will be scoring better than Voltemade, and that's why I think this is the move that I will still make. Wolves here immediately in Game Week 12 is a great fixture for Mateta as well. Another point that I want to note as well is that the bench boost is actually available to me if I don't use it in Game Week 11 to use it in Game Week 12 as well, because the fixtures are pretty good, right? It's still Caicedo having Burnley here, West Ham for Senesi, pretty much going to get a clean sheet. Dubravka here has Chelsea, and Rodon here leads playing Aston Villa. So overall, I would say it's pretty alright in terms of the bench boost plan. So I'm not going to kind of firm up exactly when I want to use the bench boost. I'm still going to keep it fluid as to whatever news or injuries that we get as we go along. But in terms of my transfers now, going back to Game Week 10, you see kind of my dilemma here because Thiago is a player that I'm going to, or for that matter, Welbeck as well, whoever I bring in this spot, is a player that I'm going to have to use quite consistently. So I do have to weigh up whether I prefer Thiago or Welbeck over the longer term. And for now, I am leaning towards Thiago. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this change of plans? And also between Thiago and Welbeck, who do you think I should go for? I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you guys have your own transfer dilemmas as well, drop it in the comments below. I'd be keen to help out. If not, I'll catch you guys in more Game Week 10 content coming very, very soon. Bye-bye.